Okay, so I'd like to share with you three basic techniques for developing self-development as a skill. The first of these development techniques is to develop a learning mindset. So that corresponds directly with our first barrier habit, which was about having a fixed mindset. So one way you can develop a learning mindset is just to change your self-talk, make a shift from I'm a failure to I'm learning. And I know that it's almost become a cliche these days that when things are difficult, we will say, "Well, I'm learning a lot," and that is kind of shorthand for it's difficult and I'm exhausted, and I appreciate that. But that's a good shift to make, to recognize that when you are exhausted and it's difficult, you are learning. It's certainly going to help you out better than saying that you're failing. Second way to develop that learning mindset is to work on showing your openness to learning by actually asking for help. And a lot of us have to really practice this. It doesn't come naturally to us to ask for help. But when we are willing to be vulnerable and to ask for assistance, that allows others to see that we are engaged in that learning, and it helps to open us up to being involved in learning relationships and supportive relationships that help us to learn. You also get more feedback that way. The second strategy for developing your self-development as a skill is to do your research and be prepared, because we want to be focused in how we approach self-development. So first off, identify what is important to you. What are your strengths? What's important to your employer? So if you are engaged in a performance review process right now, these are really important questions for you. Uh, what's important to you? What's important to your employer? What matters? Also, you want to ask yourself what's interesting. What are your strengths? What are your goals? All of those can help you to decide what it is that you want to develop next. These can be good things to talk through with anybody who has coaching skills. Just ask them to ask you questions to help you figure out what it is that you want. You want to find out what your strengths are and focus there. Part of the whole theory behind strengths is that, yeah, you can put effort and energy into fixing your weaknesses, and that will keep you from doing damage. But if you put effort and energy into your strengths, that will take you to great heights. It can take you from good to great. So there's a lot of value in putting effort and energy into developing your strengths. But you got to find out what they are first. And another way to do your research and be prepared is just to prioritize. Make sure that you select one or two goals and focus there. Don't try to do everything all at once. And then a third way for you to develop your self-development is to try something new. You may actually have natural abilities in something that you've never even tried to do. So getting some variety in your life, exploring areas that you've never even gotten into before, that could help you to stumble into an area that is something that you're actually naturally geared to do well, but you just haven't discovered it yet. Another way to try something new is to make sure that you are varying the type of learning experience. So, for instance, if you're doing classroom learning and stretch assignments, that's good. And you may also want to explore coaching or getting a mentor or hands-on training. Or even joining a professional organization. And very often joining a professional organization is a way of accessing more classroom training or coaching or hands-on training or stretch assignments or mentors. And if you are thinking about trying out a mentor or a coach, it's important to understand the difference. A mentor is somebody who will share their experience. They're probably somebody who is they've already attained a level of expertise. They've achieved a high level in whatever area you're interested in learning more about. So then they can be an example for you to follow. A mentor tells you what solutions have worked for them and how you can enact those solutions yourself. They give you advice, they tell you what to do. By contrast, a coach is somebody who partners with you to understand what you want, what your options are, and how to overcome those challenges. A coach supports you in making your own decisions. So they won't give advice or they try not to give advice unless they are some kind of a hybrid between a coach and a mentor. But really, a lot of us, if not most of us, invest thousands of dollars into learning how not to give advice. So we really try hard not to. A coach also can help you to start a practice of reflecting on your experience so that you can be more effective in learning from your own experiences. A coach can help you to audit your skills. So you know what it is that you need to work on. That can include your emotional skills as well, so that you know what you need to improve. So whatever you decide to do, recognize that development takes time. It's important to keep breathing and recognize that you will make mistakes, that learning and comfort, they just are not going to happen together. When you've got a growing edge, that can cut sometimes. So it's important to have kind of a thick skin.